not what we want. Again, in case, why am I stuck on the freaking, I'm actually stuck here. Oh, whoa. Okay, that was weird. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another update for a trading card game card shop simulator, but it's not one of the game developers updates. It is actually an update for my store and my journey, because as you know, from the beginning of this game to where we are now, a lot has happened. And as you can see from the thumbnail and as well as the video in front of you, I've made some serious upgrades, some changes to the store layout, some improvements, some modifications, some additions, some new accessories. Like, we are crazy. So first and foremost, let me show you what I'm actually looking at in terms of shop level and my actual wallet in the game. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll explain everything and how I did it and how you could also do it for your own shop as well. The strategies I did to get to where I am. But first and foremost, we're gonna start with the changes from the outside and then work our way in. So right from the get-go, you can see all of these decorations, all the figurines, not all in the game, but all that are accessible in the decoration app. So to find all this stuff, you go to the Deco app and you just go through Hobby Deco, find all the ones you want there. Obviously, there are certain evolutions, certain model types, certain poses and everything. In terms of certain Tetramon, I went with the maxed evolution rather than their first, second, third, and fourth. A, space, B, at the time, money. Those were the two big reasons. So obviously you can see I don't have Lucadins because I didn't want the pedestal versions. I'd rather have the best of the best on like the free fall or freestanding version. So obviously you can see we have like the Draceleros, the Grizzle. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's okay. Lucinder, Wispo, like you'll see in just a second. So went ahead, decked it all out. So now we have all of these. I forget all their names. Actually, I should probably run it through real quick just so I can remember. So I have Lucinder, I have Grizzle, I have Drillceros, I have Blazor, Kanubi, I'm definitely botching that. Mammotree, Fisttrunk, Rhizon, Bogon, what else? Kingstar, and those are all of these freestanding ones. So if you look, there's actually some more statues on the inside. We have the Draconic statue, we have Hydron, we have Wispo, and there's also the, I think they're like the metallic copper versions of these first starters. So you got Pygmy, Minstar, Nanomite, and Wormgull. Again, didn't want to have a Wormgull and then a Royal Llama because obviously you can see in evolution there's like a million of these. I'd rather just have one of each. Again, space, and at the time, money. So that's pretty much all the situation with decorations. And again, putting these out there, they lock into each other, but with the actual assets like the tree and the other things, the light pole and all these other little things, figuring out the arrangement to put them all outside, because again, that's what I think they're for. They are designed to entice you, come to the store. We have attractions, we have everything you want and more. Hence why I think profits are so high. But anyway, they were an absolute bitch to put in place. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I spent probably a good hour-ish, give or take a few minutes, setting them all up so that way they could fit, because where I could have one or two over here, I couldn't fit the other ones here. Like Rhizon and whatever this one's pronounced one, those are relatively easy because they're such a small, I don't want to pick them up and change them again because they took so long to fit and everything in their proper spot. That's why you got this one right here kind of looking a little iffy. If this tree wasn't here, definitely could have worked with that, but it is what it is. I guess for lack of a better term, like their zones are pretty narrow compared to like Draceleros, the bear, this guy, the starfish. Like all of these are ridiculously wide. And the other downside is that the limitations for putting all this stuff stops like right here. And for this side, it stops right by where the bear's paw, like over here ends. So I'm proud with the work that I've done to get them all situated. And obviously you can see on the inside, which we'll get to in just a minute. I really can't say this enough. I don't know if it's possible. Again, for the developer, if you're listening, I'd appreciate the feedback and obviously the update for it. If you could put all this stuff that I say throughout this video, not just this, but the other things I will get to momentarily, if you could set up all of these things to be within an update or two from now, I would greatly appreciate it. And I know everybody else watching and enjoying your game as well as this series would feel the same, because there are a lot of things cosmetically that are quite annoying that shouldn't necessarily be as difficult to set up because you're just doing cosmetics. It's not like game changing or anything, but it is very, very annoying to set up certain things the way you want it because they don't automatically lock. You have to manually set it up with however you can figure it out. Now that we did that, let me get to this stuff. So right here, we have 4 boxes of graded cards. Obviously, you know, I've covered it before, like, I don't know how many videos ago, but there's an update that you do graded cards. And there's actually an achievement for it. Well, there's a few achievements, and one of them are to get a set of the same card from grade 1 to grade 10. So you got poor all the way to gem mint. Now let me show you where I am with what I have. So right here, we have, what is this guy's name? Clawkin. So Clawkin I have from grade 5 to grade 10, which has been very convenient because of one simple thing. In this room, I've been grinding, and not just with 3 machines. I have 5 card unboxing, whatever you want to call these things. Reason being, because again, I'm at this stage of the game where I'm basically endgame. I've been trying to max out all the achievements, or rather unlock all the achievements. And as you can see right here, I'll show you right now, I got most of them unlocked. Reason being, because once we made a little bit of money, I invested it completely and just kept profiting and profiting and profiting. So I spend probably, you can see it's day 269 now, probably close to 60-ish game days, just constantly feeding the card pack machines, unboxing new cards, or rather unwrapping new cards, selling them and everything, because I was trying to get to the 2,500 cards in your deck, or rather in your card collection book. And that again took a while, because between Destiny packs, regular base Tetramons, like, not impossible, but it was a long journey. But within that journey, I wound up getting a few full foil packs. So I think about 2 packs, which 1 pack is including 7 cards. I got about 14-ish cards that, let me show you just their value, because I got 1 left over right now. It's worth a little over 100 grand. So imagine me having 14, well really 13 of those worth 100 grand. You can see how I got to 1.6-ish relatively quick. Since then, I've actually lowered my price for cards because, again, in the last update, selling cards is now essentially automated, because you have your people go to the card box, take them out, put them on your card tables, display them, sell them, fix the prices, and you're good. So I dropped it from 20% to now to 10%. So we're making good money. Next thing on the list is to actually unbox these cards, because, again, hopefully within this episode, it'd be very cool to see that I unlocked the achievement by getting grades 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Clawkin. Because what I wound up doing was I just did 1 box, or rather 2 boxes in 1 machine, and I got literally, was at 8, 16, 24, 32 different Clawkins from different price points or price values. So hopefully we should get 1, 2, 3, and 4. They weren't high grades. They were like between 20-cent cards and like maybe, I don't know, like 50, 60 bucks. So we will see if we get lucky. So right now I'm seeing nothing that I need. It's good that I'm gonna have this, because later on we're gonna sell it. And also another achievement is to collect grade 10s. So obviously I didn't even realize what I was doing before was actually saving me for an achievement later on. So I got, I don't know exactly how much, maybe close to like 50-ish grade 10s right now between all the cases, including Destiny and regular basic packs. So we have a lot to do to get to that point, but in due time we should get there. So let's finish the rest of these boxes. Again, we will go to box number 2. Let's see, grade 10s again, that's good, but not for what I was trying to do here. So I think the next 2 boxes are the cheaper boxes that were like the 20-cent cards. So hopefully 1, 2, 3, and 4 grades we get out of this. Oh, this was a mix of whatever, but more grade 10s, that's good to see, just not for the achievement. Damn, we got another 5. That's not what we want. Again, in case, why am I stuck on the freaking, I'm actually stuck here. Oh, whoa. Okay, that was weird. But yeah, so we are looking for a 1, 2, 3, and 4, which I guess will just have to come across naturally because I put in the very cheap cards and I was getting a minimum of grade 5. So not a great thing, but we helped out with the other achievements, so that's good too. I also realized, in case you were trying to do this or whatever, by the end, this I'm just doing display for cosmetic reasons, so that way I can see it visually and I don't wind up like trading off one of these cards that I need to a customer without realizing or anything stupid like that. At the point when you get all of the cards you're trying to do, like if you're trying to do the 2500 card collection, the gem mint collection, or the 1 through 10 grading cards, you're gonna have to put them all in your inventory again. So you're gonna basically have to like pick them up, drop them back in your book, and then it'll actually count it, because having them displayed doesn't contribute to your collection because it's not within your book. A little silly, but it is what it is, not the worst thing. Just be careful and mindful if you do that. Don't risk trading your cards, hence why I am keeping all my grade 10s separated for that reason, and obviously for the 1 through 10s. So now that we're inside, went over the card tables, went over the statues. Again, we have the 3 here, and we also have that new shelf that was put in the last update, which has, I believe there's 16, if I'm not mistaken, like mini shelving spots right here. So you can see we could bring this all the way around. I'm not going to do it again because there's probably going to be someone, yeah, you're going to wind up changing the price if I do that. So best to leave you right. Can I please pick you up? All right, whatever, it'll stay as 2 for right now. Also, from doing all the box cards and obviously bulk boxing, you can get different levels of or prices of the box. Obviously right here, I set up the situation from the cheap boxes that are worth 11 a pop, all the way down to the red boxes that are worth, what, about $300-ish, depending. So it's like 300, 200, a little less than 100, and about 11. I didn't know you could actually get a tier higher than this, or rather more expensive than the red box, and that is the green box, with the market price being worth a little over $1,000, which is insane. Again, because I had 2,500 cards that I collected, I had so many cards to get rid of, and thus I was able to discover this little trick. Do I plan on doing again another like 2,500 card thing just to get these boxes? No. If I need the money, probably. Do I need the money? No. This is ultra grade. I don't think there's anything higher than this. Or at least it says UG, I'm assuming that says ultra grade. But again, that's the bulk box for you, and it is very, very, very useful if you're doing that achievement. Another thing that helped out with that achievement, which you probably saw a little bit that I just overlooked in the past, were all the donation boxes. You see, we couldn't just leave it to 1. No, I had way too many cards to get rid of. So I bought another, call it, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back here, we have another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I actually sold one of the empty ones. So really, I bought 10 more donation boxes, essentially filled to the brim with all the cheap cards, hence why there's so many of them. But still, we got to get rid of them. Over time, customers are definitely coming in and grabbing. Like, obviously, you can see some of them have a little less in that one row than the other. Some of them are essentially empty on one side, like this guy here. So this is a populated area. Yeah, it's really, really taking its sweet time, but again, it is happening. The other thing I want to talk about is obviously we created the little void in the shelf space. That's not really anything crazy with the tables and whatnot. The other thing I want to do is show the updated shelving from the last update, which I actually had the money to do. I enjoy looking at this a whole lot better than the big gray, tall, ugly-ish looking shelves. Also for the reason because space-wise, they really weren't consolidating it nicely. Here, you have the whole section. So you have like more space, more inventory you can put out, and then you can have everything shown a lot nicer. Obviously, you can see we have like all the card boxes here, all the cards. I rearranged a couple of things to fit some other spots, but like this whole wall or this whole row is all the figurines. This whole row is essentially the comic books and a few games. This one is pretty much the same as before. We got the dice, we got some other accessories, some play mats, and the box packs. and all the playmats on this side. And then obviously we have the other accessories like the deodorizer and a couple other games and whatever that is. Some card boxes and the actual cards themselves, both regular and Destiny. Now, one of the other things I want to show is how did I wind up getting so much inventory here? You see, normally when I had the original setup, I wouldn't be able to put so much inventory out at one point. There's a reason for that. And that, my friends, is due to this expansion. With all this surplus of money that I had, I was able to pretty much almost fully max out the storage room. Now, obviously, I think I just have to hit 115 to get this little bit of area knocked out. Then I put these shelves on this wall like so everything is spaced out nicely. Obviously, we'll move this box and this cardboard box holder when the time comes. No urgency on that right now, but it'll look a lot nicer. And then I could possibly I have 3 to spare of these shelves. Maybe could fit 2 of them over here. I don't know. I'll play with that one as it comes, but for right now, this is again endgame. We got double inventory, so as you can see, instead of just having one shelf set up where it's like double the inventory like this, now we doubled this inventory. So essentially, instead of having just 4 boxes of this game, we have 8. Not all of the shelving is like that. Obviously, you can see right here, like instead of having 8 boxes, which would be nice because I have the money and everything for it, the space, once the update's done, I'd have to do some serious workarounds in order to do that, but I don't really think I need to, mainly due to the fact that by the time the day is done, only rarely is an item completely sold out. Like, for example, probably the figurines is the only thing that would really sell out, especially the single boxes, because right now I have 8 of these. Within the day, I think this holds about, call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So within a day, I could definitely burn through 6. I'm not burning through another 8. At least the trend is that there may be like 1 or 2 left over by the end of the night, which is pretty good because they sell for a pretty penny. But again, we don't really need the money, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, the space and all, I think it's good enough where all these other things, they're like never selling out. Maybe one whole row, like where it says 72 right here, maybe 2 of these boxes will be gone by the end of the night and half of this one, but there's still a whole bunch behind that. So we're never really out of inventory. We're always fully stocked. Whereas many days before in game, we'd have to struggle and pick and choose which items we're going to risk being out of for the day. And some of those that are like more expensive to keep. And it was a whole nightmare. But now we're past that point. We don't got to worry about it. So I'm really stoked that we hit that point. Again, Destiny packs, or rather the card packs that had the full foils, we sold them. They're each worth like 100 grand, and that's where we basically were. So my strategy behind how I got to this point is very straightforward and simple. I call it a bit of like a scaling system. Not really an official title for it. Obviously, there's probably a better way to phrase it, but I scale it based off your level. So say you're beginning, right? You started your day 1, your level 0 or 1, whatever it was. You're not really going to have a lot of money. So you're not going to be able to buy those $1,000 cards, $100 cards even. So you may get like a $50 card. Buy that as best as you can to make a negotiation. Call it like, if you could get for like 20 or 30% below their asking price, granted the market price is even lower, that's great. But if it's higher, you know, it's what it is. So if you can negotiate it down, then you sell it. So let's say you bought a card worth $50 for $30 and you sold it for, call it, I don't know, $75. You made a profit of 45 bucks. So you scale up to the next tier of card selling and buying. So let's say now you're trying to buy $100 cards. Let's say it's a card worth 100 bucks. You buy it for 65. You could sell it for 125. You're making 60 bucks there. And then you keep scaling up based off the card value. So you'll have your $1,000 cards, and then you'll have your $10,000 cards, which is now the tier that I'm unofficially in, because again, the foil pack's worth about 10 to 20K depending on which card. So you can sell it before straight up as is and make, you know, 20-30% off the market price. However, if you spend the money and invest with any of the tiers, I'm not just saying only do it for $1,000 tiers and up, I'm saying with any of them. If you have the money, invest in your business. This is a real life example as well as an in-game example. Use your grading system in-game, enhance the card value a crazy amount, although you can risk scratching it or having it inspected where you may think it's a $500 value card, it gets scratched up, put down to like a grade 1 or 2, and it's worth no more than like $5. It's part of the business. It's a, it's a tough loss. You just keep doing it again. Chances are, at least from what I found, the higher the tier, or rather the higher the value of the card, your better chances of getting a grade like 8, 9, or even a gem mint 10 are extremely high. So definitely do that if you're trying to make money. You can do the hard grind of just selling it, buying, selling, buying. You're not really gonna make too much money, especially if you have employees, you got utility costs, you got rent due. All these things are gonna eat your bottom dollar profit. So if you get that lucky card, let's say you happen to open a pack and you get a $2,000 card, invest it. Although it may hurt, you may be struggling through the next couple of days. When you get that thing graded from a $2,000 card, it could very well be a $20,000, $30,000 card. And that money you can invest in so many things like I have done. Your business, your inventory, your employees, your staff, your other items that you wish, more stock, everything. Like you can do so much more to the point where you are where I am, where now I'm just endgame cosmetics and all that fun stuff. Which, now that we turn to that point of the video, let me show you the cosmetic aspect I want to showcase. So obviously you saw the Wall of Destiny is essentially completed and built. Downfall, these two cards, because the wall kind of cuts right here for it to fit properly, they're kind of cut off as well. Not the worst case, but it's kind of annoying. And again, this whole store, like the actual sales floor, completely and fully unlocked. There is no more expansions, at least not yet. There's only the one in the stock room, but that'll be for when I hit 115, which I said earlier. That'll be soon. So that's the Wall of Destiny situated. Now I went ahead and started decorating with the ghost cards. So obviously you can see I went for the black versions rather than the white, because the white just contrast, it did not match well with this wall pattern or design or anything. So I definitely like the blacked out ghost with like that red, purple, and yellow highlight. It looks very nice to me, at least. I don't know about you, but definitely to me it goes very well. And then we just kind of blended cards that work best. Like we have from a not completely fully card to like pretty close to full, like everything, the color palette and everything, it just works very nicely. Then I went ahead and decorated the customer's place of where they will be purchasing the items at the register. Put in a couple of little posters and everything around the store, nothing crazy. Like it is what it is. It's not gonna do anything. I just like these two specifically, this one and that one, because they're like, I like the hand drawn look. I don't know about you, but it just looks nice and appealing to me. Then I went ahead and put a large display on both registers. For this one we have the fly, and this one we have the brown bird. Let me actually check their names real quick. You see on this one, this is a full like blown out, detailed, whatever you want to call it. Like it doesn't crop it like it would in these cards where it shows the name, the play effect, and all that stuff. Like these ones, it throws a name on top. I do not know for the life of me why these normal cards, they don't throw the name. Like you would think, if you're a collector and everything, you'd want for others to know, or if they didn't know rather, which card it is. Obviously if you knew the card, then you know the card. Like if it was Pikachu, a lot of people know Pikachu. You don't need it on that. But at the same time, for those who don't know Pokemon, you'd want the classification of the card name, so that way you know what kind of card or the creature it is on the card. So let me just show this. Actually, I can't even show it on here. I forgot. It doesn't even work that way. No big deal. So we just throw this one back here, and we're gonna throw this guy right here. So also color palettes, because red with the red wings, brown with the brown hair, it kind of works a little better. So that's like most of the displays. Then I want to showcase my favorite card, which is absolutely dog shit in the game, unfortunately, unless it gets beefed up or modified, whatever. It is not a card that is sought after by any means. Obviously, you can see right here, I had for the longest. All of these cards were like the best of the best per, I guess you could call it like types. So we have fire, earth, or grass type rather, water, and air type. So you can see, like, in terms of health, damage, special attack, defense, all that stuff, these are the strongest I believe I have found throughout the entire, I guess you could call it Tetramon universe for right now. Not in the long term, because again, right here, there is going to be more TCG types. So I'd assume that would be like electric, ghost, you know, similar to like how Pokemon works without legal ramifications. I don't know how the development team's gonna pull that off, but I guess it's not really like you claim rights to an electric type. Everybody has them, not a big whoop. And then obviously down here we got playable TCG, which is kind of what this whole display showcase is. When you're actually able to play against your own customers, I feel these are the best cards to do it, hence why I started collecting these, which I went over a very long time ago. What, about 3-4 videos now, give or take? So yeah, we're definitely at that point where you can do that. But my favorite card is this mummy card, which I think I actually have on the wall. No, I don't. So I will throw the name of the card right here so you can see it, as well as for the other two cards, so that way you can know what they are in case you were curious. I think this card looks amazing. The artwork, the detail, and everything, it looks really cool. It's like, I think one of the only cards that actually has, like, although it doesn't really do anything, like the glow around the eyes and the, I guess like the amulet around its neck or on its chest. Very, very cool. And as you can see on the bottom, all 9s, it is not going to do anything good. The only play effect is that it says the opponent cannot evolve for 2 turns, which I guess is an advantage. But again, you know, if you got a card like, say, I don't know, like Dracon does not evolve, does 15 damage, you're killing that card without any problem, and that guy is gonna eventually, I guess, evolve and whatnot. So pretty cool in that regard. And then we got Katengu on the right, the ghost foil card variant with the name displayed on top. Don't know why they can't do it again on the other types of cards like this one or these two, but I guess that'll be another topic of discussion for another day. But if you feel the same about anything that I said throughout this video, definitely leave your remarks down in the comment section below, as well as other ideas for improvements of the game that you would want the development team to enable for future updates. I know the few that I've mentioned have been definitely talked about a lot within the actual forums, from Steam, from Discord, and everything. But definitely let them know your ideas as well, because suggestions go a long way. And there's a good chance that the development team actually will read what you put down and potentially implement it in the future. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this update. Although it's not, again, the development team update, it's just my store and its story update. So if you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss any more videos about TCG Card Shop Simulator, both updates, my updates for my store, anything else that goes. And again, I know I am endgame, but I definitely will still be covering each and every update that gets released within a reasonable time, if not the day of its announcement. So that way you guys are well informed on the new things and features that are going to be implemented for your Card Shop Simulator journey as well. Again, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day and take care.